boys and gears, and welcome back to the channel. So this time I've got another video from our favorite people, TFP Student Action. It's a little quick 3-minute video called Expert Destroys Climate Change Hoax in 3 minutes. It's really 3.5 minutes, but you know, we can't expect them to be perfect. Anyway, let's watch a little
Medieval
bit.
warming period was from 900 to about 1300 AD. Then you had the Roman warming period around 0 AD. Peer-reviewed studies, geologic records, and all the studies have shown that we have actually cooled since the Roman warming period and likely since the medieval warming period to current. In other words, we were up here warm in the Roman warming period, then we cooled a little bit, then we warmed in the medieval warming period, then we went to a little ice age, and now we're back up. Not quite where we were in the medieval warming period. The first United Nations climate report, 1990, showed a massive medieval warming period, and then it goes down, and we still weren't at that same temperature. That was untenable. So what happened? We actually had the scientists testify in the United States Senate. He got a call from a colleague who said, we have to get rid of the medieval warming period. These were UN-affiliated academic scientists. Guess what? By year 2000, they got rid of the medieval warming period. They erased it. They went back and they said, you know, we've looked at everything and it no longer existed. They showed a flat line and then the 20th century, a big hockey stick. That's what they did. And then I have a whole chapter devoted into my book on the con that was erasing the past.
Oh, did you mean this medieval warming period? I mean, I'm not like a scientist or anything, but the fact that I was able to get on Google and find this chart in like less than a minute, and you said we weren't even anywhere close, but it looks like we're at least halfway to the maximum on that medieval warming period by 2000. So, and didn't you say they buried it in 2000? Why am I able to find this chart that ends at the year 2000 if they buried it by the year 2000? I don't know, it just seems a little disingenuous to me, but maybe you've got some better claims coming up in the next bit.
But they've done it before. Skeptics, climate skeptics made hay out of the almost 20-year pause in global warming. What does the federal government do? NOAA scientists, tired of this, they're sick of it. They have satellite data, the temperature's not going up. They're frustrated, they're angry, it's ruining. Right before the UN Paris Agreement in November 2015, NOAA, a federal agency, scientist comes out, they called it the Pause Buster Study. They said, you know what? We've redone the numbers. We've looked at the past. We did it wrong. And here's the new data. There was no global warming pause. My favorite quote to sum this up, the whole climate debate, is there are literally hundreds of factors that influence the climate. Carbon dioxide is not the control knob. The idea that humans can tweak one variable among hundreds of factors, from tilt of the Earth's axis to water vapor to methane to clouds to volcanoes to ocean cycles, etc. One selected factor, the human contribution to CO2, which is microscopic of the whole CO2, natural CO2, and think we can come out and control the climate with that. The scientists called it scientific nonsense.
You know, I'm glad you brought up the fact that there is multiple factors that feed into climate change. Are you aware that we are currently at a solar minimum? You know what else was at a solar minimum? Hold on, let me bring my chart back up here. Ah, right there. You see the little ice age? Yeah, that's reported to have been during a solar minimum. If we are currently at a solar minimum and still having temperatures that are comparable to the medieval warming period, which I believe was during a solar maximum, then perhaps you may have to think about the fact of what effect we are having on the climate. I mean, I'm no climate scientist, but solar minimum typically being less temperature than on average versus solar minimum being at almost the same temperature as a solar maximum means there has to be something else going on. And just saying, The only big factor that has changed between medieval period and current period is humanity being at a much larger amount. We had the Industrial Revolution and all this other stuff. So it may just slightly be possible that we were having some form of effect on the environment. Anyway, let's see what else
And
you
that's
have
the
to
bottom
say.
line. If we faced a climate catastrophe, you would not want to centrally plan. You would not want to empower the United Nations. You would not want to stifle technology. You would not want government picking winners and losers in energy technologies. You would want to unleash the free market system. The day someone could walk into Walmart and buy, alternative energy, if you can go in and buy not a windmill, but a solar panel, put it on your roof, get off the grid, that's the day you don't have to worry about any fossil fuel debate or anything going on.
Oh, you mean like any of these fine solar panels I found on Walmart.com? If your argument hinges on people being able to afford things because they're available at Walmart, then maybe you should actually look at Walmart. And just for fun, I did do a thing. Let me just pull it up here. I assume by windmills you meant these. Wind turbines. That's what they're actually called, I don't expect you to know that, but look at that. You can get wind turbines at Walmart too. So I guess that means that we don't need to be dependent on fossil fuels anymore, seeing as you can get them so easily from Walmart, and that was your standard of them being affordable. Let's watch the little bit that's left here and see how much stupidity you try and spout.
But you'd
next.
want people to be wealthier, more prosperous, technological advancements, and none of that is what they're proposing. The Green New Deal is all about masterminding everything in central planning. And that's what's frightening, is that if we actually faced it, their solutions would be the exact wrong way to go. Thank God we don't face it. But if we did, not only would they have no impact on the climate, but it would take us down a completely dark, anti-human road of crushing development, seniors, poor people, fixed income, paying much more percentage of their income for energy to do absolutely nothing for the climate.
All right, so he's trying to make a claim that by us going to green energy, it's going to be more expensive. But I do have an article here from Forbes, which will be linked down in the description, that says renewable energy will be consistently cheaper than fossil fuels by 2020. The International Renewable Energy Agency, which has more than 150 member countries, says the cost of generating power from onshore wind has fallen by 23% since 2010, while the cost of solar photovoltaic electricity has fallen by 73% in that time. Globally, onshore wind farms are now costing an average of 6 cents per kilowatt hour, although some schemes are coming up in at 4 cents per kilowatt hour, while the cost of solar is down to 10 cents per kilowatt hour. In comparison, the cost of electricity generation based on fossil fuels typically falls in a range of 5 cents to 17 cents per kilowatt hour. So their maximum is higher than the green energy maximum. Their minimum is higher than the green energy minimum. So I guess that means that green energy is better by your standards. I mean, Forbes is a center-right magazine, so maybe because they're not right enough for you, you'll say something along those lines. Anyway, I have links in the description to all of the studies and stuff that I used to find this information, including a link to those Walmart pages with the wind turbines and the solar panels that he says are so not affordable. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.